crypto pirates? Welcome to Chatting with the Captain on your Discourse Syndicate. I am the Captain, RG3. How in the heck is everybody doing this evening? How about that dip? Come on now. Come on. Let's see. Let me take a quick look at it. How about this? Oh, the app's got to even refresh. I haven't looked at it all day because now we're the app has died. Did we go 8081? Look at that, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a blue light special on aisle 1. Hex is seriously on sale. Go out and grab you some. Hey, everybody, what's happening? Fighting freedom. Look who's in here. Look, everybody's in here. Briss, look at we got the goat himself, Brissology. Briss is a fan. He actually subscribes to the folks that we're going to have on. Tonight we have Scott and Christy McKenzie of it's like a Mad Magazine / political satire / you'll see it's going to be a lot of fun here. Maybe we'll even get some comedy versus just the old man yelling at the wall here. Axis, what's up, my brother? Bit Finesse out there hitting the road, my man. Bob the Guy, look at all the OGs in here tonight. Alan, yeah, the great Nils One. That's who is our guitarist who plays our intro is Nils One, guys. If you want to go check out his stuff, he's all over the YouTubes, and kid rocks, man. He just tears it up. So anyway, who else we got? Melv Tony in there again, inviting freedom. She says, "Who's Flip City Magazine?" Well, Flip City Magazine, you're going to find out. You are going to find out. Crypto Compassion, good to have you in here, buddy. And oh, look, we got, ladies and gentlemen, one of the OGs himself, Johnny Chaos of Chaotic Creations is in. Bullish Ox, Russ. Hey, okay, everybody, how you doing? Good to have you here tonight. We're getting in on the regular, getting the show going and rolling every week now. I know it's not the best time. If you guys haven't been through a dip, I mean, this is obviously the most extended dip and the biggest bear that we've had probably in the history. Well, it is in the history of Hex. But it starts to, everybody's streaming and happy, and we got everybody's doing their shows when everything's pumping, right? But who's here for you when it's dumping? The Captain's here for you when it's dumping, guys. I'm standing with you toe to toe, and I'm telling you right now is the time to get in and get yourself some bags. This is the time to fill your bags. 8 cents. 8 cents. Holy moly. I mean, the Captain, I had a little extra cash laying around, a little dry powder, and I said, oh man, that 13 cents looks good to me. I'm going to just go ahead and put in there. Wow. Look at what I miss. Look at what I miss. The lesson, always keep some dry powder. Always, 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 always. Oh, we're having some problems with the Twitter. All right. Okay, guys. Well, without any more time, the treasure is coming. Yeah, T-Rob. By the way, thanks, T-Rob. I have a new producer along with the king, of course. T-Rob is helping with the show, and he is much appreciated. He's killing it out there. Thank you, T-Rob. You're awesome, my man. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to bring my two guests up here. So we did have, I want you guys to know that Adam Kokesh is being rescheduled. He couldn't make it tonight. I couldn't make it last week. He couldn't make it tonight. But he will be coming. But we do have Scott and Christy. I'm going to bring them up right now from Flip City Magazine. How are you guys doing tonight, Scott?
Hey, Captain. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. So a lot of questions about who you guys are and what you're doing. So before we get into anything, I want you guys to let us know who you are and what Flip City Magazine is.
All right. Well, we are Flip City Magazine. We are the world's best comic satire magazine at this point in history, and we are in our 12th issue right now. We are a print publication, as you can see this beautiful cover right there, which is very timely, by the way, because you've got Bill Gates here on the right side, and let's see, there's a George Soros right there. Anyway, Flip City is a print comic magazine full of beautiful pictures and funny commentary and comics to entertain you in what could be one of the worst periods of our financial lives.
And likely we would offend everybody.
Yes.
I mean, expect to be offended when you purchase.
Yeah, and then you can't go wrong.
I like that. Let's offend everybody. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself or at everybody else, what use is everything, right?
Well, you know, and that's part of the ethos behind Flip City is we have to retain the ability and the right to laugh at things, or we're going to find our right to laugh gone. You know.
Oh, we're going to lose that too?
It seems that way.
I'm sure it will be criminalized at some point.
There will be no more laughing.
The end of laughter is here. Finally, I grasp it. There will be only sour faces.
Yeah,
sad faces in the future.
You guys have been going for the last. So was this a COVID startup? Did you guys end up on lockdown and then this idea came to you? Is that how this was all?
We had the idea before, but it was pretty much lined up to launch right when COVID started. And let me see if I can find our premiere issue cover. Oh, I don't have it right here. Anyway, we launched February 2020 and launched with the virus and a mask. He showed me the picture and I said, that's not going to be evergreen. And, you know, it turns out it was a perfect premiere issue cover.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have it there?
Oh, it's right here behind me.
Oh, that's it right there?
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. So that's issue 1, launched February 2020.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, we're pretty good at telling the future.
Because I mean, it was just, I mean, really, there was nothing known about it in like February. That was like, there's something out there. Somebody's got some cold or something like that. And that was before everything really hit the skids. So that really, you guys are going to be the new Simpsons, I guess. Is that what you're looking at?
I think so, except for we're not dialed in with the Illuminati.
No.
But if they're looking for new members, I mean, I hear it comes with a lot of benefits, so maybe.
I think so. World domination, all that good stuff, right?
Right.
So okay, so you guys started this thing. You nailed your COVID prediction there, and so what direction? So once all that started happening, did the magazine go in a different direction? Did you guys start seeing things a little more politically, or what was there a switch there, or were you guys out of one direction? Yeah, that's what.
I think that was always the plan because we had a head start on it, and it was, you know, you go back to Mad Magazine in the 1950s, and a lot of that is a cultural reaction to decades of conservative culture and Catholicism and Protestant. It's the stuffy conservatives, and this was a reaction to this. Well, you come 60 years later, and we have this very heavy lefty orthodoxy telling us what we can think and say.
Stuffy, crusty.
Crusty. Yes.
They're the new downers.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. Well, you notice they are your grandparents, except they have purple hair and more tattoos, non-military tattoos. Yeah.
Lots of piercings.
Right.
Yeah.
With the same rigid resistance to being challenged.
Well, the thing is too, like I wouldn't view the magazine as overly political. It is more social commentary, but everything's political. So we appear to be a very political magazine, but it's more social commentary.
Well, I mean, it's like everything that sucks is political right now. I mean, so they're making fun of anything. It's pretty much everything's political. I mean,
right.
That's where the fun is.
How would you say crypto is political?
Ooh. Well, crypto has the ability to change politics and to take that power away from. See, because politics in this imaginary world is supposed to be something like this side and that side, and we all vote, and the best thing is going to win. This democratic dream utopia bullshit idea that we have in our minds, in our American minds, most of us, and some other countries still view things this way. I think the rest of the world is a little bit better off than all of us are as far as their mental understanding of what goes on in politics, because theirs is more blatant. Like they'll just come and tell you exactly how it's going to be, Gestapo style. But here we're like those frogs in the pot, boiling away and just, oh yeah, my vote counts, and yeah, my politics count, and the best man's going to win, and all that other crap. And in reality, it's about money and interest, and what they've done to our system. They circumvented the system by injecting money into it and that power of that money, and they've taken it over, and we don't own it anymore. We have no control of it anymore, and it is one big joke. It's one big joke.
It is one big joke. We have endless material.
I
mean, it's just falling in our lap all day.
Yeah. Oh, and this crypto space is give you even more. If you guys got into the crypto space and started understanding what goes on in these communities, man, you guys have material for forever. I mean, it's just insane what goes on in these communities. But what crypto has the possibility of doing is taking the power of that money back to the people and giving it back to the human beings versus the powered interests that are running our show right now. So literally, I mean, and I don't even understand why or how I'm doing this, but next week I go to Washington, D.C. and to help lobbyists put legislation in front of congressmen and senators to make favorable crypto legislation. So it's not about going out and getting public opinion and getting a vote. We literally have to go down there. I've got to learn the ins and outs of K Street and how the lobbying powers work so that we can influence some legislation, because it really doesn't happen the way we think it should happen. It should happen, the people bring the legislation to the congressmen talk amongst each other about it and get everybody behind it. And then it goes to the Senate, and then it gets signed off by this, again, that dream of how it really happens, when in all actuality, what happens is down on K Street, they open these doors and they smooze each other with lunches and dinners and $10,000 breakfasts and $50,000, cocktails and all this other stuff. And they hand legislation to these people and say, you will get this passed, or that guy over there is going to have your job next season. You get my drift, buddy? Now go get that stuff done.
Right.
And that's really what happens. So I got to go down there and sleaze and slime with these folks to figure out how that process works so that we can get that done. That's politics. That's
all right.
Yeah.
It.
Well, enjoy your trip to the swamp.
Well, and thank you.
Yeah, I gotta
go.
I've spent my whole life in the swamp. Now you're still doing it. I'm still doing it.
I mean, nobody wants to go there and do that. So
but I think this is one of our only chances, to be honest. I think crypto really is, and the real world, the general population. I mean, there's only about 3% of the world, 4% of the world that are actually in crypto. So there's not a whole lot of people that are actually involved. But when you have a tool like this, the word's got to get out. It's got to get out. Unfortunately, for the last 12 years, the cryptos have had a real hard time because of just, it's taken that long for it to evolve into something proper. But now I think we're on the verge of it flipping and people actually seeing what it's about. But there's going to be a lot of good material for you guys as this happens. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it. And yes, we have a very minimal understanding of exactly how crypto works, but I don't know.
Well, I understand you guys wrote a book on it though.
Well, we had an article.
Okay.
But
it's an article, 2 pages. Sure. Well, yeah, we can ask you some questions, so you can school us a little bit on this. All right. Well, Captain, and these are dumb questions. All right, Captain. I understand that Bitcoin has to be mined. Where are these mines located, and have any of these mines ever collapsed, trapping the workers inside and suffocating
Unfortunately, no, they have not suffocated those workers, which we've all been hoping for. They're in China. And they're sweatshops. And yes, those poor miners. None of them, unfortunately, have seen their demise. But we're hoping one day for maybe a big electrical surge or something like that might fry the whole thing. So
Excellent.
Fry the Chinese.
Well, the consortiums that are out there, yeah. So, but it's basically what mining is it's just a bunch of computers. It was supposed to be like every human being on the planet's computers can mine crypto. That's not the case anymore. Once again, the power has been consolidated. Now it's since been broken up in China, but there's still these mining consortiums, mining pools, they call them. It's not just an individual thing anymore. It used to be anybody can mine Bitcoin. You can mine it on your PC, your laptop, that's how it started. It was this consensus of everybody being part of the network. But what happened was the moneyed interests go, hey, well, we want to get this thing and grab a hold of it and get as much power in this thing as we can. And so they built these miners that are just ridiculously fast, ridiculously energy consuming, ridiculously expensive. And in order to be part of the Bitcoin mining, in order to get the best payouts and whatnot, you have to be part of these mining pools. You have to join these mining pools. And again, they're centralized, these mining pools. And some say that because of that centralization, Bitcoin has lost its decentralization because of the mining pools. So mining, not a good thing. An old thing that was able to prove a concept. Bitcoin proved a concept. That was it. See, what people fail to realize is that technology is supposed to advance. Everyone thinks, oh, Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin, thank you, Bitcoin, for coming out and showing everybody what cryptocurrency is. But all it did was prove a concept that you could send a transaction peer-to-peer outside of the banking system securely over the internet. That was it. That was all it did. And it didn't do it well. It's dilapidated old technology. In this community, we call it spaghetti code that Bitcoin was built on. I mean, you can imagine just a bowl of spaghetti, right? That's what the code looks like. And every time they try and peel it open to add something to it or fix it or do something, they release bugs. They've had like 30 bugs since then. So they've stopped unraveling it. They don't like to play with it anymore. And it's old tech. And now it's on with the new. So crypto is advancing, but the mining was the beginning of it. And it's old tech. Mining is going away. It's very wasteful. It doesn't help the environment any by using our energy that we need for other things, So that's going away.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Way more interesting than I would have thought. And I like the spaghetti.
The spaghetti code?
Yes, I do. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that explanation.
Well, there's new code now that's not spaghetti code, and it's basically, just think of it like Lego blocks stacked on top of each other now. Little pieces of code that are very, very secure, written very well. It's called Solidity. Ethereum came up with this. You've probably heard of Ethereum, maybe? You've heard of Ethereum?
I have a little Ethereum.
Oh, good. So
I do.
You are embracing the suck with all of us because Ethereum sucks too. But it did create a very good crypto programming language called Solidity that packetized the data so that we can have more secure cryptos built versus the spaghetti code that Bitcoin was built on. So Ethereum proved the next concept where now we can not only do a peer-to-peer transaction securely, but now we could program this shit to do some cool stuff, because not only did it have just that transactional weight and size and throughput, but now this crypto, this Ethereum, you're able to program crypto into doing things like, how about make better money? That's the key, is like, okay, now we can make better money versus the dollar. And we all know what's going on with the dollar, right? So that's where now it starts to get interesting. Now, Ethereum proved that concept. Hey, we could program this shit to do whatever we want. And that's when crypto got really exciting. And that's when you've seen all the other coins come out and it started growing. And with that brought P.T. Barnum's circus out. And we have what we have today, a big 3-ring circus with all kinds of crazy actors and scammers and everything else in it. And that's what we have is this crazy crypto world now, where you guys can have a field day in. I'm telling you.
Is that where the NFTs fit in?
That's actually the next innovation, where now we're starting to talk about Web3 or the metaverse and NFTs, which is a way to a non-fungible token is what that stands for. And that another way for you to program this money to do things that you want it to do and control other assets, physical and virtual, with this same cryptography. So that's what NFTs do. They give you a lot more flexibility in this space. So now, not only can we program the, send and receive the money securely and program the money, but now we can make it do some really cool stuff and tie the whole world into it and operate and function the internet the way it was supposed to be. Take the world into the 21st century, really, is what this next phase of crypto is going to do. But you need to have good cryptos in order to do it. And Ethereum failed because it just didn't scale its network properly, and hasn't fixed it. And transactions are costing you outrageous amounts of money. So Ethereum failed. So now we're waiting on the new, and that's called a blockchain, by the way, if you I'm sure you've heard that term. So yeah. Ethereum is a blockchain. So now we're waiting for a better blockchain to come out. And that's what's happening right now, is all the technologies kind of coming together. We just need things to improve a little bit more so that we can kind of advance into the next stage.
Okay, cool. Well, Captain, then for the hoi polloi, cryptocurrency can be spent on real, physical, tangible goods, or is it just for buying online gaming weapons and magic flying unicorn fruit?
No, you can get Lamborghinis, fur coats, $5,000 tennis shoes, and what else? I think that's about it. You can't buy shit with crypto. You can't. To be honest, nobody takes it anymore. Well, I guess it's funny when it starts pumping. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, we'll start taking crypto now." I think you could have bought a Tesla with it or something before. Maybe you can't now. I'm not sure, but you have to be able to on ramp and off ramp your money and be able to function. See. You guys probably, obviously you own Ethereum. So you went and you had to go get an account and take pictures of, all kinds of different places of yourself that you didn't want to, and then send them all of your personal information. And then before you know it, now they will allow you to get some crypto that they're going to hold on to for you, and the on-ramping process and off-ramping process is very, very difficult. Like the normal Joe can't do it. You have to get a good friend to show you, and oh man, don't hit the wrong button, don't lose your keys, don't do this, don't do that. And it's just very, very complicated. Remember, a lot of very, very smart nerds wrote all this shit, right? So it's very, very difficult. And they weren't very good communicators. They were just, basement dwellers that did some really cool, crazy stuff. And they don't want you to figure it out. In fact, they want it to be hard on you guys so they can feel better about themselves. I don't know what it is about these guys, but they really just want to, feel like they got you. Yeah, you can't figure my shit out. But there needs to be a vertical where when you guys go to your bank, it's like you open up your back office on your bank, and there's your crypto, and there's your real money, and there's your stocks and your 401ks and everything's in there, and everything functions together. And I can trade my crypto and move it around. And you need to be that has to happen, or else we're not going to get adoption. It needs to be easier for people to onboard and offboard their crypto so that you can go and buy a home. I mean, there's so many people that are stupid wealthy on paper, but they can't buy a house with their crypto because it's too hard to, get it offboarded. So those things have to be fixed. And that's another place that, me and my company and the people that I work with are trying to make things better. But it's just isn't there yet. It's coming. And
when you offboard crypto, do you get hit with fees?
Well, of course, you get hit with fees, especially right now with Ethereum's fees. If you're trying to get off with Ethereum, you're going to get hit with a lot of fees because their gas prices, just like the economy now, and the gas prices have gone through the roof. Ridiculous. I mean, some people are paying, upwards of $5, $8, $1,500 just to take out what we call a stake. So like if you've put some money away, or if you put some crypto away and received interest on it, just to get it out of there, you're almost paying $1,500 for some of it. It's just ridiculous. So it's broken. It's just broken. It's not that they're doing that to be nefarious, but who knows? Maybe they broke it on purpose to be nefarious. I'm not saying that, but it's broke. It's that broken. I mean, the banks don't even gouge you that much to get your money out of an ATM. I mean, you can go to Vegas in the middle of the night in a horrible hotel ATM and only pay, $12-$15 for, a transaction, which is, Ethereum's way more than that. So, but yeah, that's what's going on there.
Well, that's like with stock, the fees you're going to take selling and buying stock, but that has become so much easier in the last 20 years to where, it's more handleable by the home user.
Well, like these apps like Robinhood and all these things make it very easy for everybody to have the stock market in their pocket, and crypto should be the same. It's a little more difficult, but the DeFi space, I don't know if you've heard that buzzword yet, but the decentralized finance, there's centralized crypto and there's decentralized crypto. And the centralized are the exchanges. Those are owned by human beings. Moneyed interests are involved in those. They make money off of people trading, gambling, basically, just like the stock market. So these guys are nefarious actors in the crypto space. They don't care about anybody. They want you to leverage trade. They want you to short. They want you to go do all these stupid things with your money, with your crypto, so that they can make money. So that's what they advertise. And that's the centralized crypto exchanges, Coinbase and all that other stuff. They're all part of it too. And they hold on to your keys. So they'll keep your keys. So if you give them your crypto to go onto their exchange or whatever, you don't have control of your crypto anymore.
Right.
And that takes away the whole concept of what crypto was made for. Crypto was made to take out the middleman and be decentralized. So now with Ethereum coming out, they were able to make these things called decentralized exchanges or DEXs. And now we can all go and provide the liquidity versus a centralized entity doing it. So now we get the chance to go up and put some money up on a decentralized exchange, or some crypto on a decentralized exchange, and we get the fees from people trading it, back and forth. And you go onto this exchange, you come off the exchange. No more taking pictures of strange areas of your body and all that kind of stuff, and giving them your phone number and your name and your social security and all that. No, you go up to the exchange. It's just a front end on a website. You hook your wallet up to it. You make your trade. You pay the little fee for it, and then you're out of there. And the guy that put the liquidity up there for you to trade with, he gets a little, bonus for doing so too. So it's really a cool way of doing crypto trading, and we don't condone trading, but you want to have these decentralized exchanges so you can exchange value and change into these different cryptos that you may have utility use for. So DeFi, if you haven't heard that buzzword, that's the new
I have not.
DeFi.
Okay.
Decentralized finance is what it's called. So
I'm going to drop that somewhere. Somebody's like, oh, wow, Flip City knows crypto.
Yeah. You guys are DeFiers now.
Well, I guess if you bought Ethereum, you got the right thing.
No. Well, apparently not.
Oh,
it sucks.
Not.
It's doing all right. And as far as, right now it's down, but everything's down, right? The whole crypto space is down. So it's not, it's not the crypto's fault that you're in. It's the whole space. But Ethereum is, it's top two cryptos. So you can't go wrong owning, the solid assets. It's like an S&P, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's always going to be that way. There are other things coming out that may end up replacing all of these. So that's what you have to. running on YouTube, two different. I don't know, guys. We're on two different. I don't know. I didn't see.
What?
I'm looking at the chat. They're saying that I'm running two different streams. Okay, so we got two. That's
All
okay.
right.
All right.
Hey.
But yeah, so hope that answered the question.
I
You
think
guys
it
have
did.
some good questions in there, actually. Those aren't stupid questions.
Oh, thank you. Well, speaking of that, then, you know, so we have a food supply crisis going on in this country. I mean, we started with the baby formula, and it doesn't look good in terms of products not being on the shelf and food not being on the shelf. Now, in the worst case scenario, I'm pretty sure that I could boil down my dollar bills into an edible paste and eat it to survive. Now, can cryptocurrency offer me the same security?
No,
Hard hitting.
you can't eat it. You can't eat
I
it.
can't eat it.
You can't eat it. Now you could eat your treasure maybe, or your ledger. You can maybe boil that down and eat it, but
Okay.
no. And I don't know how nourishing those greenbacks would be. To be honest, you might make yourself sick with those.
Oh,
But
We're
yeah.
talking worst case scenario.
absolutely.
You know, before we eat the dog.
so the doomsday scenario always exists, and I think cryptocurrencies are here to stay. What they're going to look like in the future, that's the unknown. Electricity's not going away, the internet's not going away. People are still going to be doing commerce on the internet, and cryptocurrencies are going to be part of the future. Now, depending upon legislation and how countries treat it, I don't know which direction it's going to go or where it's going to go, but it does have the ability to fix what they've screwed up. It does. This inflation that they've created is just horrendous. I mean, you've never seen a hockey stick like that ever when you look at that and the inflation rate of the dollar. It's just
Right.
and all countries' currencies are doing the exact same thing. It's not just the dollar. It's the whole world is inflated to insanity. It's the perfect setup for what crypto has to offer. Now, what that looks like and how that gets legislated into place all still has to be played out. That's why it's so important for everybody to be out there getting involved in this space and putting the right ideas out there. And once again, trying to circumvent the moneyed interests and the moneyed powers from taking over, the wrong ones anyway. Because now there's a lot of people out there, a lot of freedom loving people that have a lot of money. There's a lot of, we call ourselves hexicans, by the way.
I like it.
We support a crypto that's called Hex, and it's decentralized finance. Basically, it fixes Bitcoin is what it does. That spaghetti code that I was talking about, well, it fixes that spaghetti code, makes it a more secure, faster moving crypto. But instead of just money number go up, like Bitcoin's only thing that Bitcoin does, you can send it and receive it, and the value of it goes up based on how many people hold and buy it and don't sell it. Hex, however, what it does is same thing, send and receive. You can hold it, number go up. It gets, people hold it and sell it and all that. But what it does is it acts like a crypto CD, a certificate of deposit. Remember I told you Ethereum allows you to program them?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
what this cool crypto did was they programmed it so that you can stake it, meaning you could put it out there like a CD for a day, a week, a month, a year, 5, 10, all the way up to 15 years. You can stake it as long as you want. Create your own CD and you monitor it. Nobody holds your keys. It's you operating the code. Now you've made a deal with yourself. Hey, I'm going to put it out there for a year. So if you put it out there for a year, you're going to make interest on that. Well, not interest, yield on that crypto, on that hex that's sitting out, that hex stake. And the way you get your yield is from the inflation of the coin. So the coin inflates very, very minimally at 3.69% per year. So it's just a very minimal. So what it has done is it's created an optimal inflation model, because what happens is that inflation comes out, and instead of going somewhere where it's going to get dumped on you, like a bank that's going to go and lend it out for low interest rates or whatever, or Bitcoin where it goes to the miners and the miners dump it so they could pay their electric bills, Hex's inflation gets stuffed off for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So some of this inflation is sitting out there for 15 years and a very minimal amount of it. So the value of the coin has just been going up and up and up, because what it does, it creates better money, which is what Ethereum offered us, was a way to program better money, while Hex was programmed as better money. And it's been working flawlessly for 2.5 years. So it's been an incredible ride us Hexicans have been on, because of what Richard Hart, the guy who founded this thing, created. It's been a lot of fun. But it does have the ability to change the monetary systems of the world because of how the inflation and everything is set up.
Very cool.
Are you getting excited?
I'm getting very excited.
Kevin's
really?
Smart. Kevin's really smart. Yeah, we need to figure some of this out.
We were expecting to come on and be bored, and we're not. In fact, I love how you pointed the guns at the camera. That scared me. I was like,
oh you like that? You like my blunderbusses?
I do.
Well, though, we're pirating finance is how I've seen it, and that's why I took on the persona on top of honor my dad. He was a pirate sailor and the whole thing, and so I really liked that age of humans and what they were trying to do, and how they were still entrepreneurs, but they were sticking in the faces of the powers that be, and they were stealing what they were stealing anyway. And, I know where that gold came from. The pirates were taken from the Spanish and the French and everybody else who was running around out there. They had stolen it there on their own. So I was rooting for the pirates. So here we are again, and we're doing the same thing. We're trying to stick it to these guys who are stealing from us, and they're stealing from us. This inflation, what they're doing to our money, they're stealing from us. Yeah.
And I'm sure you know that the powers that shouldn't be are going to do their best to either control crypto or kill it. That's how I feel about it.
So the problem is, this is what the cool thing about being in these rooms are, in these political rooms with so-called freaking, the best of our nation has to offer, and they've got no clue. They have no clue of what they're dealing with. They don't know what they're fighting. They don't know what's coming. It's already here. They can't stop it, because what's cool about crypto is it's immutable. Like, you could program this stuff and throw it out there and go, oops, I did a thing. You can't stop it. There it is.
Yeah.
And now once people take it and adopt it and use it, there's really nothing you can do, because it's code that doesn't go away. It's
very interesting.
It's
a very interesting
internet
way
herpes
to
is what it is.
Yeah, to subvert that banking system and everything. It's wonderful,
Yeah, because now we can bank outside the banking system without any of those guys, and they don't like it, and they're having a hard time. I think they tried the beat it thing first, and then they tried to join them, and they can't do either one. They haven't figured out how to do either one. So now I do see that the centralized powers that be, if you remember that last, I think it was a budget bill that went through. They had some kind of crypto legislation that they wanted to try and sneak in there.
Yeah.
And what had happened was the exchanges had went and lobbied and tried to get rid of DeFi. So the exchanges were putting in some rules and regulations and some little poison pill things to try and mess up DeFi. And they didn't go through. They pulled it out, but it was like, look, guys, they're attacking us. You better get out there and start, getting into the system and trying to figure out how we can get legislation that's going to keep DeFi alive, or else they are going to legislate it out of existence. And that's when we lose to this. That's when we lose.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Well.
Cool. I'm happy there's people like you that know these things and are taking action to, protect, something that could be really cool, is really cool, I mean.
Well, I'm flattered. So my whole community is probably going, oh my gosh, they really said this. So I'm the guy that doesn't know anything, really. I'm the guy that's like, I'm the old man in the whole community. You know, it's like, oh, geez, here he is talking. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Blah, blah, blah. One
What's
thing
the
I
chat
do know is
saying?
I've
We're
been
not
through some.
watching it.
I've been through some cycles. You know what I mean? I've been through some cycles, and I've been a worker bee my whole life. I worked for 35 years as a millwright, so I paid my dues in the real world. But I saw this as when I first saw crypto, when I first saw what they were trying to do with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are going to game the system with this thing. This can really, really be something big. This is what everybody's screaming for, because I hear a lot of the podcasters out there in the financial, I guess you'd call them the contraries, the people that are saying the sky is falling, this is all bullshit, it's broken, they've screwed us, blah, blah, blah. But I don't see them talking about the answers, and a lot of them don't know that crypto is the answer. So they haven't really looked at it well enough. And that's what I'm trying to do, is get all communities to start looking at it and saying, hey, this is our answer, guys. This can change politics, leadership, monetary policy, everything, all in one shot, if they were just to really look at this thing.
Right.
Because it can do that.
It's funny. I can kind of draw a parallel in the circles that we're running in as the what did you just call the naysayers? What did you call them? The doomers? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, but we have all these podcasters out there with giant audiences that complain about culture, and they are doing nothing to fix it. And we're over here saying, hey, creating culture.
Yeah,
like, nah.
Go be that. Be that.
Yes.
Do something, artistic or funny or interesting, or,
Stop
do
complaining.
something and bring value instead of all this attack crap and bullshit that's going on out there. It's like, bring some value, bring something to the table. And I don't see that. I don't see answers. It's like, well, go find the answers and bring it to people. And I just this generation, this era, I'm just not seeing human beings getting traction right now. And it's just like, get out there.
I think, as things like crypto grow and Flip City Magazine and things that are changing the culture, people will eventually jump on board, but it takes a long time. Building new culture is hard.
Yeah. Well, you've seen that video, that one guy dancing all crazy, and then finally he gets another person to dance with him.
Yes, I've shared that with friends saying, can you be my crazy person dancing with me?
Right. And that's what it is. It's that virality, that has to happen. And if enough of us are out there screaming about these things and trying to create culture and trying to create, a better narrative for a better world versus, all the crap that's out there, then, it will happen. The viral event will happen. I don't know where it's going to come from or how it's going to happen, but it is.
For living in such kind of creepy, weird, freaky times, it's actually really fun and exciting, in my opinion. Because it is.
It's like a renaissance
happening. It is a renaissance. You're right.
It's like a renaissance period coming into play, and we don't know what that's going to look like yet. If you look back and like, I always tell everybody this, and they always call me the old man, barking at the moon or whatever. But there's nothing new under the sun, and everything's secular. It just keeps coming back. The same old 3-card money games that have been played from the beginning of time are still being played, just have better technology and more money to do it with. That's all. It's the same scams, the same nefarious type people are doing the same crap that they've always done for eons.
Doesn't it seem like it's just like more people know about the scams though? So it's like kind of like that. Oh, okay. I am grabbing my popcorn because holy crap, how many false flags do I need to see? Well,
the world has shrank, and now we can all, kind of like see what's going on in each other's backyards at any given time. So it's, there's that. The whole world now knows what everybody else is doing, knows that everybody else's cultures, and knows that we're not as different as, we've all been made out to be. It's the shrinking of the world because of the internet has definitely changed how these things can go viral and how the world, gosh, can you imagine how long it took, all of this stuff to happen back in, before there was any communication across continents and whatnot. Now it's like you do something here and somebody in China knows what you did,
Yep.
Yeah, and the masters really, they've got to have some degree of internet regret. I mean, I don't think anybody planned people to be able to communicate this easily with each other and share information. Like we wanted to have that. It wasn't me, And
It wasn't for the kids.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just the profit motive. It's what incentivized spreading that out everywhere. But too much information.
Yeah, like my kids, they don't watch television stations. They watch YouTube. They watch what they want when they want. They don't tune into the network media. Well, I guess YouTube's a network media too, but they're doing things
Old
differently.
School.
They're tapping into each other differently now. I remember we had 13 channels on the little flipper, and it was like, that was it. That's where you got your content,
We'll be the old people with you for your audience.
You did not
Yes, I remember doing that.
You did not say remote control. You said flipper.
Yeah.
The flipper.
Or the buttons.
You have to walk up
you
have to walk up to that screen and do it.
I remember going up to it and flipping it real fast, and back in those days, if you did that too much, you broke the knob, and Dad would have to take the TV to the repair shop and get the knob fixed. Well, I remember one time he threw a shoe at me, hit me so hard upside the head because I was flipping the dials. What's the matter with you, boy? Just put a new knob on that thing.
Threw a few knobs.
Yeah, you go through those. You remember those knobs? You go through them, flip it. Yeah. Oh,
yes,
man.
and this was back in the day when parents totally threw shoes at you or like whipped you with the belt. Yep.
Yeah, I'm lucky that's what he had in his hand. It would have been something heavier, I'm sure, if he had had it.
No, people today can't relate to that 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 and PBS. That was
56.
56.
56.
Get it.
That's when you had to go to UHF. You put it on the U.
Yeah.
And then you turned the other knob that had 100 of them on there.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh man.
I don't think I knew how to do that.
No, you might be too young.
I might be.
Yeah, you had 2, but before the 2 was the U. You had a U, and that was for UHF. You'd turn it on the U, and then you could flip the bottom dial.
Oh, nice. That was that Weird Al movie.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. Yeah. Just means you're getting old. That's all. So, back to, was that the last question? Did we go through all your
I have other questions. Well,
we'll do one more.
We're talking about your love of the pirate motif. Can I use cryptocurrency anonymously to finance any foreign revolutions or to launder funds from my international supermodel trafficking operation? Which I do have.
So now here's an interesting concept. Yes, you can. However, if we want to have a good or better society, we need to have some type of regulations. So at what point do we say, okay, where do we need regulations? How do we exchange money? And, do we treat it just like cash and have, contingencies in place that we can kind of weed out the bad actors and make sure that people aren't funding governments and make sure that people aren't, trafficking, human beings and stuff like that. That's where the communities start getting divided within the crypto space. And that's where people start, hey, here we go again. How much of our freedoms do we give up? And this is a point where I say, there's government doesn't suck. Bad government sucks. And you've got to have good government. And unfortunately, there's no way to have a perfect government, but there's no way to have a perfect utopia. There's no way to have a perfect anarchy. You're always going to have those same characters in there that are going to do the bad shit. Period. End of story. So you've got to figure out a way to do the greatest common good and to try and keep the damage to a minimum. So I don't know what that looks like yet. That's what we've got to start working on.
Yeah.
I'm getting some feedback. Maybe it's me. There we go. So that's a weird subject because of this. You know, it's so decentralized and it's so libertarian viewed as a tool for anarchy and no government. But I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's how anything's going to get done. I think that response there has to be some accountability and responsibility here with this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like the Wild West, and we always like to be on the frontier, on the Wild West, where the forces of control do not have complete control, and there's some space to do things and be creative and make money even.
Yeah, and somebody answered in the chat really good. Johnny, he's one of our brilliant community members. He said every crypto transaction outside of privacy coins, there's some that try to hide everything, are transparent. So you're better off doing bad things with cash because it is transparent. Everybody can see every transaction. So it's actually so transparent that tools need to be put in place so that people can actually do good commerce and good business. For instance, you're an employer and you pay your employees cryptocurrencies. Your employees can see who's sending each other money and how much money they're getting. So they can see how much the other person's making and whatnot. So there are some things that still need to be, and they have workarounds for these now already, to hide transactions and kind of keep them private. But those have to be, I guess, monitored and put under some type of scrutiny. I don't know what that's going to look like, but that's where they start to regulate things and make exceptions that will keep the bad actors away or at bay a little bit. You're never going to stop everybody from doing bad things, obviously,
Right. I mean, I wouldn't expect crypto to solve crime. The crime problem.
It's a tool. It's just a tool, just like, the whole gun narrative and everything else. It's a tool. And, just like food and it's you need food, but you don't need enough to make you, 600 pounds and can't walk anymore. I mean, it's a tool and people are going to do what people are going to do with them. But it is a tool that has the ability to change the world. It really does. Yeah. They say, fix the money, fix the world. And that's what crypto does, is fixes the money.
Cool.
Yeah. So in your community, I'm just curious because, of course, I know that everybody knows crypto's taken the big dip. You mentioned it right at the beginning of your show. Is this anything that is it kind of fear inducing for your community? Is everybody just chilling? I mean, how's that kind of look?
Is there a panic?
Yeah. Is there a panic?
No, especially not in this community, because most of the people in this community have put their crypto away for a period of time. Traditionally in the crypto markets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of the cryptos have dipped 80-90%. And that's not seen anywhere else in the world, really. I mean, if you had an 80% dip in the stock market, the world would implode. I mean, it just doesn't want to do that. But it's been established a lot longer. There's a lot less volatility in the stock market, even though it has its own volatility issues. But the crypto space, those of us who have been in it for a while, we're scarred up. I mean, we've been through so many dips like this that it doesn't affect us anymore. Like literally we're in like a 78, or it might even be bigger than that. I think we're in over 80% dip right now. So we see this all the time. But what happens is the chart looks like this. The chart's always going up and to the right. And in the middle, you see these emotional moves.
Mhm.
And this is where people panic and lose their money, and then panic and buy in too high, and then panic and sell it again, and then panic and buy it too high. Buy high, sell low. That's what they
I
do.
think I think Ryan Long did a really good skit about that. Like he was that emotional crypto trader, and he was just losing all their money. It was very funny.
Yeah, and it's so funny. It's true that most people that are getting in, especially the newer folks that are the day traders that like to, they got their app and they got their Coinbase account, and they can do whatever they want whenever they want on their phone, sitting in class doing whatever. So they start trading on emotion, and they haven't been through 3, 4, 5 dips like this, and the first time they see it, they flip out. They've over leveraged themselves, and they flip out. And one of the things that we've always said here, see, we talk about responsible crypto trading here, and we don't talk about trading at all, to be honest. But it's about taking the funds that are not going to hurt you, or taking what you can afford to lose, and putting it into this space, a small amount of your portfolio, not the largest amount of your portfolio. Now, it could end up being the largest portion of, like, my crypto holdings have blown everything away that I own. My properties in California, everything, it's blown away everything I've owned. But it wasn't what I put in. I put in a very small amount of my entire wealth into crypto, because I knew that this was a volatile space, and who knows what it was going to do. But now it outweighs everything. So now I teach people that that's how you should be doing it. You should be getting in and not over leveraging yourself, because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of inexperienced traders will do too, is they'll over leverage themselves, or get themselves in a position where they've borrowed money to get in. And, and then here we are in a dip, and they're freaked out because they put their life savings in there, or they needed that money for this or that or the other, and they were expecting to get it out now, because you never know how long these dips are going to last, or when they're going to come. And when they do, they're always unexpected and unwanted. So if you're in a position where you've over leveraged, then, it can be a very stressful situation.
Right. So trading is like a no word. You don't trade. I thought that's what you did.
See, that's the problem. See, crypto wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be traded. It was meant to be a means of exchange. It was supposed to mean a store of value. It was supposed to be better money. The whole trading thing came out, and it created excitement. So don't get me wrong. The trading portion of crypto was necessary for its development and its growth. Unfortunately, it's turned into a tumor that's metastasized, and now it's a cancer within the whole space. And like I said earlier, the PT Barnums have come out of the woodwork and circumvented the good things about crypto and used it for their own, personal 3-card Monte game on steroids. That's what this is right now. And that's the whole crypto space.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's of no surprise to the entire community. I mean, of course, everything good needs to be infiltrated in one way or another.
Yeah. And we'll see how it survives and all that good stuff. And I think that with the advent of Hex and the new coming chain, which is Pulse Chain, which is going to be the improvement on Ethereum. So I don't know if you guys heard of the word forking, or what forking is all about.
No.
So what you can do with cryptos, because they're open source software, is that you can kind of copy the software, or copy the code. What I meant is code. You can copy the code. I'll get destroyed for that. So you copy the code, and then do you understand how the blockchain works actually?
I have watched a few tutorials on blockchain.
Okay. So the blockchain is just a transaction, or an incident on the crypto, on the blockchain itself. And then once that's laid down and it's verified, the transaction is verified, the very next transaction gets locked into it. And then the very next transaction gets locked into that one, creating a chain that never gets broken, that is always the same, and stays in consensus with all the other miners or nodes that validate it. So as long as that transaction always shows that same blockchain, then it's viable. Now, what happens when you fork is you take the system state or the code of this crypto here, and at a certain block, instead of continuing on with this chain, you go, we're going to make a new chain, and we're going to make new transactions over here with some new programming tweaks and some new this, that, and the other, and then you create a whole new blockchain. It's called forking. Well, Ethereum's broken, as I told you earlier, these high transaction fees. Well, what Pulse is going to do is at a certain block here in the next few weeks, we're hoping, it's going to fork off of Ethereum. And then everything that's on Ethereum is going to duplicate and launch onto the Pulse chain. And the Pulse chain is going to go, off in a whole nother direction with cheaper fees, more throughput, get rid of all that traffic jam that Ethereum has, and then some more bells and whistles and no more mining. It's going to be all about proof of stake versus proof of work. Proof of work is mining. Proof of stake is just what we call node validators, which takes those hundreds of thousands of millions of computers, computing power computers that are out there mining Bitcoin, and basically shrinks it down to 30 computers. So now you only have to have about 30 of these nodes running, no more power consumption, no more slow speeds. Validations happen quick. They're very cheap and inexpensive, and it doesn't destroy the environment while you're using the network. So that's what Pulse Chain, which is basically Hex's road to go travel on, that's being created here within the next few weeks. So it's going to be really cool. And that's going to make a lot of Web3 applications viable when Pulse Chain launches.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So that's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah.
Okay. So, will you guys? We've been on for an hour. You guys want to talk about Flip City real quick before we have to get going?
Yes. Yeah. What do you want to say about Flip City, dear?
Well, I guess we could recap. Flip City is the best. If you've just tuned in recently,
Look, we have a sexy Fauci centerfold.
This is our sexy Fauci centerfold from issue 7. He's sitting on a giant pile of money in his throne. He says, "I swear I thought gain of function was about helping older men get it up." Yeah.
Well, within our published 12 issues, we have over 400 pages of illustration and written content. Scott does a lot of the writing and is a very funny guy.
She says.
I say. And our readers say too.
Yeah.
So we've actually just launched a 12-pack special to mark that we made it to 12 issues as an independent self-publishing magazine. So you can go to flipcitymag.com and get all 12 past issues. It will not last long because some of our runs were shorter than others. So as soon as we run out of one of them, that's the end of the 12-pack.
Yeah, it is limited, and come and see that, and come subscribe and get 6 issues a year delivered in your mailbox of a real print magazine that respects you. We respect you.
It's physical. You get to touch it.
And it's real.
And it comes to the mail. It comes to your mailbox. I mean, who gets fun mail anymore?
No.
You guys need to make NFTs out of your artwork. Somebody's going to hit you up.
We've been told, and I've got a little group of friends, my little millennial friends over there who seem to like me. They're doing their own NFT and learning it and everything. And they said there's a programmer guy in there. He says he'd help me. That's about where we are on it. I'm like, I'm just watching what they're doing with their NFT.
Right on. Well, I'm sure somebody in the community here will reach out to you and want to talk. That's for sure.
All right. Okay. Well, sounds good to me. So, and also don't forget, Flip City is not just us. We support over 20 amazing artists and
writers.
We're always looking for more. Anybody that wants to do subversive art or writing, you can hit us up. Our contact information is on our website as well.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, guys, there you go. Flip City. You guys go check it out and go get your 12-pack so you can go get caught up on what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate you.
Fun. I learned stuff.
If You ever need any help with any crypto, you let me know.
Okay.
I'll be your crypto guy.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. We'll check you all out later.
All right,
Enough.
talk to you later.